Hi, this is Nanette Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Thursday, June 17th, 2021. Looking at fire potential impacts over the next few days, we are looking at record heat across much of the Great Basin continuing into Saturday with single-digit relative humidity values. With moisture increasing across the south, we will see isolated dry lightning across the areas on the map with those red dots. There is the potential for some isolated storms across far western Nevada today as well. Over the past 24 hours, really no precipitation to speak of and just a couple of lightning strikes. Fire activity continues to increase across the Great Basin. The new fires over the past 24 hours are marked in red with the Great Basin team fires in purple. As far as observed precipitation, it's just really been incredibly dry across the area, both over the past 7 and 30 days. Really hardly any precipitation with the exception of northern Nevada and western Idaho. ERCs continue to rise and are at record values across much of Utah and into the Arizona Strip. Really incredibly high ERCs across much of the Great Basin right now. Looking at current field conditions, these charts are showing 100-hour fuel moisture, and those values are also at or near record low values. So with the lack of precipitation, just incredibly dry conditions across much of the Great Basin. Satellite this morning shows some cloud cover across the far southern part of the Great Basin. That's denoting the moisture that we have in place across the area. For today, we have a high risk across much of the Great Basin for the abnormally hot conditions that we're seeing, as well as the areas in red that are at a high risk for lightning. Looking at those relative humidity values, really incredibly dry across much of the area. With the moisture in place across the south, we are expecting some isolated dry thunderstorms this afternoon, mainly across central and southern Utah and into the Arizona Strip. And then looking at winds, that's the image on the right, we are going to see gusty winds again across the Uinta Mountains and into portions of the Snake River Plain this afternoon. So moving to Friday, that moisture expands across the Great Basin. A much larger area of the Great Basin is highlighted for the lightning risk tomorrow, and almost all the other areas highlighted for a high risk with the hot and dry conditions expected moving into Friday. Relative humidity values come up a bit moving into Friday as that moisture increases, but generally below 15%. And looking at that precipitation map on the right, much more precipitation, a much larger increase in that convection tomorrow. And so the concern for dry lightning increases a lot moving into Friday, and it's especially concerning given how exceptionally dry the fuels are in the area that we are expecting lightning tomorrow. So these dry thunderstorms after a period of record hot and dry conditions is not what we want to be seeing. And then looking at winds tomorrow, those red dots on the map are model interpreting thunderstorm wind gusts. The orange areas are more of the widespread gusty winds that we'd expect. And then moving into Saturday, we see drier air beginning to move into the Great Basin. An upper-level weather system brushing by to the north will bring a bit of relief to the northern areas. You can see high risk confined a little further south for the hot and dry conditions on Saturday. And we hold on to that lightning threat on Saturday with some lingering moisture across the east. Looking at those relative humidity values on Saturday, still remaining quite dry. Relative humidity does come up a bit across portions of eastern Utah. And looking at the precipitation forecast on the right, you can see those areas expected to see further storm activity on Saturday. Expecting some gusty winds on Saturday as well across portions of southern Idaho and into northern Nevada. This is showing the high temperature trend from Thursday into Saturday. You can see a little bit of relief across like the central Idaho mountains from Thursday into Saturday as that system moves by to our north. But really, we continue to be quite hot moving into the weekend. Over the next 3 days, no significant precipitation accumulation. Some storms will be a mix of wet and dry, and so some areas could see a bit of precipitation with the thunderstorms over the next few days. As we move into Sunday, much drier air moving into the Great Basin with that northwesterly flow. That should bring, again, a little bit of relief from the hot temperatures, knock things down a couple of degrees. But that also brings with it a wind threat, which is very concerning, with many of the windy areas expected to see lightning over the next few days. So we are looking at some winds on Sunday as that storm, or as that upper level system moves by to our north. Then moving into Monday, that high pressure begins to rebound. We'll start to see temperatures climb early next week. And then moving into Tuesday, it looks like we will see another system moving by to our north. We'll have to watch the winds with that. And then that high pressure building again on Wednesday, leading to more hot and dry conditions. The 7-day period, really not much additional precipitation beyond what we're expecting to see in the next 3 days. And finally, in the 8 to 14-day outlook, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for more hot and dry conditions across the entire Great Basin. So we're going to have to get used to this heat, because it looks like it's going to stay abnormally hot for quite some time. That's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter.